Welcome back, Bison Nation, to your very own Bison Information Network's first show of February. My name is Logan, and tonight I'm going to be taking you through the latest in both campus and local news, along with a weird national story you're going to want to stay tuned for, so don't go anywhere. With Valentine's Day quickly approaching, it is a safe bet to say that the hunt to get that special someone a thoughtful or unique gift is well underway. While many items may seem too pricey or just not practical, the NDSU has you set up with its very own perfect gift idea, a plant sale. There will be a variety of plants such as houseplants, succulents, and plant pots, among other options available for sale. Now, while that teddy bear or that box of chocolates is still a great idea, why not get a plant that can grow alongside your relationship? The sale will run this Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. in the Memorial Union across from the Design and Sign. Cards are accepted, but cash is preferred. And while it may be warmer than usual outside, it still isn't warm enough to bring back our beloved Sidewalk bookstore sale. Not to worry though, as the NDSU bookstore is doing the next best thing, as they are bringing the Sidewalk Sale inside to the storefront. There'll be plenty of amazing deals, including discounted apparel and gifts, supply specials, free samples, and more. The sale will run Monday to Wednesday between store hours of 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. each day. Now, the bookstore also promises a few special surprises, so you're going to have to stop by and check them out to see what those are. And our next story tonight is coming out of Jamestown, where the police were called to remove an unruly student out of Jamestown High. The incident happened around 8:45 a.m. Tuesday morning, with police stating that the school resource officer was called to a classroom to deal with the student. The student struggled with the officer and the staff to the point where a teacher had to call 911 to get help from other officers. Now, when the police arrived, they were able to restrain and escort the student out of the building. No injuries were reported, but we will keep up to date on the details of the story and let you know if anything else comes out of it. And our next story is going to be music to all rock fans' ears, as the legendary 70s band STYX is officially headed to Fargo. Known for hits such as Babe, Too Much Time on My Hands, and Mr. Roboto, the band has long captured the ears of both young and old listeners. With Valentine's Day upon us, this could be a great gift opportunity for that special somebody, or just an awesome experience for you and a group of your best friends. Now, the band will be performing at the Shields Arena this fall, with a date being set for August 30th. A pre-sale for tickets will begin tomorrow at 10 a.m., with the general on sale beginning Friday at 10 a.m. as well. Now, be sure to act fast, because those tickets are sure to go out the doors quickly. And our first national story has the nation watching intently as a helicopter with 5 Marines on board has gone missing. The helicopter is headed from Nevada to California this past Tuesday before it was reported overdue, prompting a search and rescue. However, the response efforts were delayed Wednesday morning due to an atmospheric river storm hitting the area. Cal Fire officials also responded to the helicopter's last known location over the Cleveland National Forest, but nothing was found. The incident comes roughly 2 months after a U.S. Air Force Osprey crashed off the coast of Japan, killing all 8 crew members on board. Now, we can only hope that the helicopter is found and that everyone on board is okay. And our last story of the night comes out of Florida, as a man has been arrested after joyriding in the Florida Surf. Jason Berzuskowicz, a 49-year-old New Yorker, intentionally drove around a closed gate to drive onto the beach early Tuesday morning. The gate was in place to keep vehicles out as they were having high tide and severe winds. But the high tide is exactly what Jason wanted, as he drove his white Dodge Ram up and down the shallow waters, even attempting a donut or two before 3 lifeguards arrived and spotted him backing up further into the water. Lifeguards later told the police that they approached Berzuskowicz in the case of a medical emergency. Now, when deputies arrived at the scene, Jason told them that he wanted to drive on the beach and that it's not my fault that the truck doesn't surf. Jason was arrested and charged with failure to pay the vehicular access fine and was held on a $200 bond. The truck was also towed by law enforcement, which means that Jason is only a few $100s away from being able to teach his truck how to surf once again. Surf on, Jason, surf on. Well, that's all we have for news this week. After the break, Vinny will have all the latest in Bison sports, including a 100-point performance from one Bison team and a tense overtime game as well. Also, stick around to see where the crew was headed to this past weekend on the Fargo food tour. Now, don't go away.
Let's take this out of the studio and hit the roads as we explore Fargo and discover the best restaurants in town. There's a wide range of foods to explore here. We will help you discover some delicious food finds in this new series that we like to call Fargo Food Tour.
My name is Vinny. I'm the owner here.
Hi, my name is Sidewalk Sale. I'm the manager here.
Chicken wings and the bibimbap. Bibimbap is kind of the
Traditional like Korean dish that have like bean sprout, carrot, Spanish, and you can pick like the meat like ground beef, sliced beef, or the tofu, and on top with the fried egg, and of course like with the gochujang sauce on the top. Wing is like Korean crispy chicken wing, like we deep fry 2 times to make it crispy. And we have 2 sauce, like soy garlic sauce and the red spicy sauce, or you can do a combo like half and half too.
I think the takoyaki is a deep fried ball inside with the octopus.
Teriyaki sauce and spicy mayo, and bonito is kind of like what?
It's made from the fish, like dyed
Yeah,
fish.
it's like flake on top.
We open every day from Monday to Saturday. We open from 11 until 2:30, and then we close. We open again 4:30 until 9. Only Sunday we don't have the break time. We open from noon until 8 p.m.
Catch the full episode on the YouTube channel. It is out right now, episode 3, Taste of Asia. Thank you and see you over there. Bye!
My name is Becky Parker, and I'm a news anchor at WDAY TV. I graduated from NDSU in 2010 with a degree in journalism, broadcasting, and mass communication technologies, and then I had an emphasis on broadcasting. Principles of broadcast production and advanced broadcast production. Those were favorites because they were the most relevant for career experience. You're calling people for interviews, you're writing an article. It doesn't just feel like an assignment, it's like actually doing it. I was the news director for the first full semester of the Bison Information Network. The BIN advisor here was very much invested in me to actually have a career in broadcasting. He helped me get my internship and my first job. The people in NDSU's Department of Communication are really interested and helpful in getting students the connections that they need in order to get a job beyond school.
No kid deserves to go hungry, but try as they might, not every family can afford to put food on the table every day. That's why the Great Plains Food Bank and their partner agencies work every day to bring food to our hungry neighbors. Every dollar donated can provide 4 meals for those in need. Go to greatplainsfoodbank.org and donate today so no kid in North Dakota ever has to go hungry.
Welcome in the Bison Sports Report. Let's waste no time and get right into action. As first, we head into men's basketball as they travel down south to face arch rival South Dakota State. as we head into the first half, the Bison came out with a flare as Andrew Morgan was the first to put up points with a dunk. SDSU responded, and it was a back and forth affair. After 5 minutes, SDSU pulled ahead with 12 unanswered points. When you thought the Bison would be out of it, they pulled it back together and got on a streak of their own, scoring 11 straight. Now halfway into the game, it was pretty tight, with NDSU being up by only 3. NDSU got another rally as they got to score 7 in a row, though SDSU responded with a streak of their own, ending the half with the Bison up by 3. Going into the second half, the Bison were driving. When Andrew Morgan drives it in, passes it out to Jakari White. Jakari White hits his 3. Although that was good enough for the Bison as they go into overtime. As SDSU scores first with a slamming dunk, although NDSU responds with a score of their own that puts Waddle up for 3 points. Bang! SDSU responds with a 2 of their own. As time was winding down, Bison were driving. Stunberg shoots it out to Federson. There he shoots it off the backboard, and luckily he was there to finish it off. Now with a second left, SDSU tries a game winner, and it banks off the rim, no good, as NDSU finishes the night with a win with a score of 74-73. That was a battle. Leading the Bison was Bowden Stunberg with a double-double and a team player with 6 assists on the night. With the Bison were not done with the rivalry yet, as NDSU had to travel up north to face the Fighting Hawks, carrying some momentum into the game. Let's have a quick recap. Jakari White hits a 3 and made other plays, including this drive, finishing it up with a layup. Another player was Andrew Morgan, number 23, as he was making plays like these all night long, putting up points after points after points, driving in, even getting double covered, and he still can make it. UND and NDSU were very tight despite these performances. Going into the last seconds of the game, NDSU was down by 2, given the chance to tie or win it. Let's take a look on what happened. As they passes it to Jakari White. Jakari White tries to go for the game winner, and off the rim, game is over. UND would hang on to the lead as this final score would be 58-60, just out of the Bison's reach. A key player on the Bison was Andrew Morgan, as he shot 6 for 10 from the field with 14 points. Trying to recover from this loss, NDSU wants to rebound back as they host Kansas City tomorrow at 7 p.m. You can watch this live in person at the Shack, or watch it live on Summit League Network. If you can't do that, you can just listen to it on 107.9 The Fox. While the men tried to bounce back from a loss, the women were trying to extend their win streak after beating St. Thomas last week, when they got to host the #1 team in conference, the SDSU Jackrabbits. This game was going to be a good one, and it showed in the first half, when after the first half the Bison were playing really good on defense but could not connect as much on offense, and the Jackrabbits were playing about the same. And going into the third, the Bison were up by 1, the score being 27-26. Something must have happened in the locker room. We never know, but the Jackrabbits came out with a purpose, outscoring the Bison by 10. The Bison could not connect their shots, and it costed them the third. Ultimately, could cost them the game? We don't know. Being down by 10 going into the fourth is never good for anyone, and as you guessed it, the Bison could not come back and could not upset the Jackrabbits. Now with the final score being 58-65. Although some good came out of the game, as Heaven Hamling was the star of the game, making 31% of the Bison scores. This was a tough loss for the Hot Bison, but let's take a listen on what Elle Evans had to say about the game.
I think we all kind of had the expectation that we were going to come out with the win, but just kind of like what Heaven said, we're just going to take this and use this as motivation for Saturday and then whenever we meet them next.
Elle Evans had a chip on her shoulder going into Grand Forks, as NDSU had something to show after a low-scoring affair with the Rabbits when they took the Storm right to the Fighting Hawks. Elle Evans proved herself right, as she would end up carrying the team on her back as they blew out UND with a final score of 101-85. Elle Evans ended up scoring 33 points and had a double-double on the night as they blow past this team up north and hope to carry the momentum into the next game. The women had back-to-back road games when they pack up and get ready to head down to Kansas City. Tip-off will happen at 7 p.m. tomorrow, and you can tune in on Summit League Network or listen to it on 1660. Turning over to NDSU wrestling, the Bison were on a cold streak, hoping to snap it when they went to Utah Valley. The Bison did drop their first 3 matches, but won the next 4, giving the Bison hope with Maxwell Pearson, Landon Johnson, Braden Howells, and number 23 ranked Gavin Sachs winning their respective matches. Although after this streak, the Bison could not get it done when they dropped the next 4 and ended up losing this one, as they lost 14-24. The Bison hoped to bounce back against Wyoming, but could not handle business. With the efforts of Maxwell Peterson and Gavin Sachs winning back-to-back matches, but the team let them down, with the final score being 14-27. The Bison have the next couple weeks off and hopefully can recollect themselves and hope to snap this nasty losing streak. Talking about streaks, NDSU track and field is on fire as they were running all over their competition, with Williams running the 60-meter with a time of 6 seconds. Nia Nati won the 60-meter under 8 seconds. Curl winning another 400 with under 50 seconds. And finally, Caden Pasquian won shot put. Turning over to women's, Elise Jennings won the 60-meter. Salmata Corgo won the 60-meter hurdles. Grace Link won the mile with an astounding 4 minutes 56 seconds. And speaking of astounding, Nell Graham earned herself with Peak Performer of the Month. Now, NDSU hopes to keep their dominance going as they head over to the East Coast, going to Boston over the weekend. Lastly, another Bison in the East Coast and playing over the weekend is your very own softball team. Yes, that's right. Baseball and softball season is just around the corner. Over the weekend, the Bison have 5 games, starting off with Furman on Friday at 1:30, then moving on to Queens on Saturday, and finishing up Saturday with Northern Kentucky. Lastly, on Sunday, the stretch will be against DePaul and UNC Willington. With softball underway, normally we would see warmer weather at this time of year, although of late it's felt like spring time already. Henry, will we be seeing more of this, or will it be a little bit colder going on?
Good evening, NDSU. I'm Henry Raddick, as always, with your weather report. Right now, current conditions are pretty overcast. We are expecting a little bit of rain shortly for today and tomorrow. It's overcast with 37 degrees Fahrenheit being our temperature, with a feels like of 44 degrees Fahrenheit. Humidity is 66%, and winds are coming from the southeast at 14 miles an hour. Moving to the hour by hour, it's going to get slightly warmer as we hit that 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Then from 9 to 1, it should be around 47 degrees. And then 6 a.m. would be a nice, cool 45 degrees. Wonder why I'm wearing a polo. Skycast. We're looking at today we've looked at 9 hours and 54 minutes of total sunlight, with sunrise of 7:44 a.m. with sunset of 5:38. We are slowly getting back into more sunlight, NDSU. Moving to Mooncast, we have a waning crescent right now. February 2nd, we have a third quarter. On February 9th, we're expecting our first new moon of the month. Moving to today's almanac, as you can see here, it was a high of 48 and a low of 35. Average temps on this day in the past were a high of 18 and a low of 0. And record temps were a high of 43 and 1926, and a low of negative 32 in 1977. We're kind of hitting those highs today. I'm pretty sure we actually just set, according to that, we've just set record highs for this day. How about that, NDSU? We're moving into our national weather, and as you can see here, we're in that little bit of a parabola, upside down parabola shape, where everything below us is very warmer weather, leading into like the central part of the country, where everything north of us and to the east and west of us are pretty cold. As you can see here, 45, 33, 31. In Montana, we have 30, 29, 22, 20, 33, and all those places in that area. Moving to our weather forecast, you can see here, we're expecting some snow in the next 48 hours, as well as upper Minnesota, majority of the state, and as well as southern Minnesota and places in Wisconsin and South Dakota are getting some rain, including us. We are actually on the tail end of that snow. The snow is going to be more north of us. We're just getting a lot of rain because of our heat. Moving to our 7-day forecast, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're seeing highs of 48 on Sunday with a low of 28, and then Saturday and Sunday, we're immediately dropping to the 29s with lows in the 22 and with lows of 22 and 20 respectively. Moving to the rest of the week, it's gonna get back to those cold winter temperatures. I know, NDSU, I'm disappointed as much as you are. 30 on Monday, 29 on Tuesday, 31 on Wednesday, and 29 on Thursday, with lows in those upper 10s. I know, I'm disappointed just as you are. Moving to our national days, it's National Fettuccine Alfredo Day, National Periodic Table Day, and National Send a Card to a Friend Day. Now, if you don't mind me, I'm going to eat some fettuccine Alfredo while studying the periodic table and writing out a card to my good friend. Have a good one, NDSU.
Thank you, Henry, for the weather report. To celebrate National Alfredo Day, you might see me at Spaghetti Western. And happy National Women's Day in sports. To all women that work in sports, this day is for you. That is what is going to do it for this week's newscast. If you are interested in watching our past broadcasts or other featured shows, all of them are on YouTube at Bison Information Network. On behalf of everyone in the studio, we hope you have a great week and take care.